The loss to Tottenham Hotspur last week might have taken the shine off somewhat, but this summer has still been a brilliant one for Arsenal so far. Mikel Arteta's side have looked great in their other preseason games, and Andrea Berta has been very busy in the transfer market. The Italian has already made 6 first-team additions, with Victor Gyökeres and Martin Zubimendi undoubtedly being the most exciting of the lot. Yet, it appears as if the Gunners aren't done there, as they continue to be linked with Eberechi, and with reports claiming that they're now in talks to sell a peripheral player, they may soon have the money needed to sign the Englishman. Why Arsenal want to sign Ease? Arsenal have been linked with Ease for a long time now, with some reports touting the 27-year-old for a move to the Emirates last summer. However, it would be fair to say that the links have become far more concrete this summer. In fact, some from last month claimed that talks with the player have gone well, and that the North Londoners are just waiting for the Crystal Palace star's £68 million release clause to expire later this month, so they have more wriggle room in negotiations. Whatever the final price for the Eagles' ace ends up being, it's easy to see why Arteta and co. are so keen to sign him. For example, despite playing for a mid-table side at best last season, the superstar attacker, as dubbed by respected analyst Ben Madison, racked up a tally of 14 goals and 11 assists in 43 appearances, totaling 3,303 minutes. In other words, the former QPR ace averaged a goal involvement every 1.72 games, or every 132.12 minutes across the campaign. On top of that, the Greenwich-born maestro played a pivotal role in Palace's FA Cup triumph, scoring in the quarter-final, semi-final, and final. In all, Ease looks like he'd be a sensational signing for Arsenal, and it appears as if the club are making room for his arrival. The Arsenal star who could be sold for Ease. While the focus of this summer for Arsenal has been the incomings, there are still several players around the first team who have been linked with possible exits. For example, Gabriel Jesus was supposedly of interest to Brazilian side Flamengo last week, while Leandro Trossard has been linked to Borussia Dortmund on multiple occasions, and even Jakub Kiwior has been turning heads at Porto. However, as things stand, the player who looks most likely to leave this summer is Fabio Vieiraa, who first moved to the Emirates 3 years ago for around £34 million. At least that's according to a recent report from Sebastian Vidal, who claims that German outfit VfB Stuttgart are now interested in the Portuguese midfielder and have been in talks with Arsenal over a permanent transfer. The 25-year-old would undoubtedly leave for a loss, but even then, it is probably time Arteta and co. cut their losses, as there is no indication he'll ever develop into the player they hoped he'd become. After all, he was only able to amass a tally of 13 goal involvements in 49 appearances across the 2 seasons he spent with the club, and then even last season, when he was on loan with Porto, he didn't look much more than okay. For example, the exceptional midfielder, as talent scout Jacek Kulig once dubbed him, produced 11 goal involvements in 42 games, but 8 of those came in just 26 league appearances. Ultimately, Vieiraa clearly has some talent, but it's equally clear that he's not good enough to play for Arsenal, and if his departure can make room for Ease, then the club should thank him for his efforts and send him on his way.